Hey, Soul Fam, Amelia did here. I hope you guys are feeling good and doing good. I'm feeling good, I'm doing good, and I have a quick video for you today. And it's really for my ladies and my fellas. I know there's only two of us out here, either lady or fella. I'm not getting technical. Don't get technical with me. You know what I'm saying, okay? But ladies, fellas, Soul Fam, I just want y'all to know that we not alone here, and I'm speaking about you know my fatherless, okay? Those who just maybe never grew up with that relationship without a father. And for my ladies, I want y'all to know, fellas deal with that too. Fellas know ladies deal with it. It's not a secret, ladies, okay? The fellas be knowing, they be trying to see what's up. But ladies, fellas deal with it too, okay? And the only difference that's really there, y'all, I'm in the sun, so when I block this stash, I want this lighting to be like gas. Just know it's just a little warm. So I'm out here delivering y'all this message in the heat because that's how bad I want y'all to feel it. Ooh, I want y'all to warm it up. But anyway, so fam, fellas deal with it. Ladies, fellas deal with it too. Okay, so what that means is oftentimes men don't have that relationship with their fathers. And so it's like, ladies, we put men on this, we have this list for men, like we want y'all to do this, that, we want y'all to fight, we want y'all to this. And this is not an excuse, ladies, to let men off the hook. No. Okay, this is just so the discussion could come up. Because we need to start talking about it. Alright, it's about time. Alright. We only holding ourselves back, okay? But ladies, when fellas don't have that relationship with the father that you don't have, it's hitting a little differently. So maybe they don't know what it's like to actually, court a woman. Now, this is not for you to give them an excuse and give them a pass. Fellas, this is not for you to get a pass. This is for you to start learning, okay? Because it makes a difference when you're in these relationships and things just go in sync and go in tune. And a woman likes to feel like she your woman, like you chose her or she chose you, however y'all do it, but y'all want to feel special with one another. Y'all don't want it to feel like just any relationship. That breeze feel good. Just know. Okay, I'm feeling it. But so fam, fellas, I know it hurts to feel like, your father was supposed to do X, Y, and Z, and I just want y'all to understand, listen, they didn't have that full package. In the black community, we've been ripped apart. Okay, in America, we have been ripped apart. So it is not a laughing matter, but come on, I want y'all to just have a little, come with me. You know what I mean? Don't go so sad about it, but I just want y'all to know about it. I want y'all to understand that there's brokenness throughout our family generations. And so the men that we see in today, most of their fathers back in the day, majority, they couldn't get the job they was needed. They didn't get the mental health that was needed. They didn't get all the tools that they were needed. And what they did for you was probably the best that they could do for you, because somewhere along the line, their fathers weren't fully there. This father figure that they put on TV that all of us are looking for and looking at, I just want y'all to look at it from a realistic perspective. We don't have those majority, okay? This is majority. This is not for the celebrities. This is not for the fairy tales. No, when you go out in real life and you go out in a lot of the black areas, what you're gonna see, the fathers feeling like they ain't do enough. And because they feel like they ain't do enough, most of the time what they do, they kind of run it high. They never learned learn how to handle those emotions. We weren't really taught how to handle our emotions. I don't know about y'all, I wasn't taught how to handle my emotions. When it was time to get angry, we just got real angry. We get real aggressive. That's how we have a lot of aggressive black females, because that's what we saw. So that's what we assumed was right. When you see Love and Hip Hop, what you see? Aggressive females, not really teaching you how to handle your emotion. Sweat. Alright, son. Woo. Yeah, heating me up. So, sorry, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I'm just cool as that. What y'all really have to understand is we all got to start doing the work. Okay, ladies, yes, your father wasn't there. All right, how can we move forward? Because we can't sit around and keep being upset. Most of us, it's easy for us to keep being upset about what they didn't do. And it holds you down. Why? Because you're feeding that energy. Instead of you focusing your energy on moving forward, you focusing your energy on what happened, or what could have happened and what didn't happen, and X, Y, and Z. Same with the fellas. Fellas, they get in training from, the music. They get in training from their neighbors next door, and most of the time, everyone's dealing with the same thing. So it's a trickle domino effect of everyone just being mad. So it's really what it is. We are mad, upset that we can't change this, that we can't change that, mad that whatever reason. Baby, don't be mad. Don't be mad at anyone. Don't be mad at your father. Don't be mad at your grandfather. Don't be mad at the boy that's trying to talk to you that he ain't got his emotions together. Just mention it, Sometimes we got to just mention, are you afraid of abandonment? Are you afraid of rejection? Get those questions out so that people can start doing the work to understand, like, okay, I got this part. This is not an overnight thing. So once you realize, all right, I fear rejection, Once we admit that we fear rejection, we have something to work with. But if we never admit that we fear rejection, we have nothing to work with. I've been there, so I understand that fear of someone not wanting you and you don't know where it come from. Take a minute and think about it. There's always a part of a child that when they have that missing parent, makes them feel like, why didn't they want me as a child? Not understanding that had nothing to do with you. You just happen to be a product of the situation. Planned or not planned, you still here, baby. You know what I mean? And everybody's just winging it along the way. Like, all right, I'm gonna just get a job. Most of our parents or our grandparents back in the day was focused on bringing in income, paying the bills. The number one stress is paying the bills. Divorce rates, paying the bills, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times our parents and our grandparents weren't focused on mental health, wasn't focused on if you was going to be emotionally stable or not realizing that the emotional part of you is the most important part of you. So when you see women with emotion instability and men with emotion instability, just have a little more patience is what I'm saying. And don't be afraid to bring it up in the discussion. Some of us, we don't know how to have that discussion. We don't know how to express ourselves. So when we're sitting down with someone that's showing these careless emotions, sometimes they're so serious. They can't even help themselves because they have never been taught. When you're born, you're supposed to be taught how to live into this world, how to get through it. But if there's some glitch in the system, you know what I'm saying? There's some glitch in the teaching frame, the passed down generation. There's a glitch there. That baby, there's gonna be a glitch in the student. And some of us we have our phones at our fingertips, right? Real quick, yeah, that's good. Come on, breathe. I'm ready. Some of us, we have our phone at our fingertips. So what we do is we go on Google and we start looking for the answers. We go on YouTube, we start looking for the answers. We start reading something that makes some kind of sense. And what we do, we run with it. But what we really don't understand is that the work that needs to be done takes a little bit more time. And the resources we have today, our parents and our grandparents didn't have. I don't know about y'all, but my grandpa still uses his flip phone proudly. You know what I'm saying? You try to get him this smartphone, he looking at you like a smart donkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, get this out of here. So we gotta just have a little bit more patience and be able to have these discussions without someone storming out. Sometimes when we hit that nerve for somebody, what we do, we flee the scene, we leave, we run, because that's all we see. When things didn't go well in our homes with our parents, someone left. 9 times out of 10, someone left. And you're sitting there like, okay. You're sitting there learning, okay, when things don't go right, it's time to leave. Not understanding it's unhealthy. Okay? And there's even shows where there'll be discussions happening and somebody will leave. There's movies, there's so much things that we see, but we never see someone really having a healthy discussion. Why? That's not entertaining. We forget that our TV is for entertainment. If someone's sitting there having a discussion and it's calm, it's like, somebody want to see this. And that's why, you know, those shows like Maury, Jerry Springer, they so popular because what people doing? Acting the fool, acting the utmost fool, making a fool of themselves, screaming, shouting, fighting. So I don't know about y'all, but when I walked home, Maury was always on my TV. You know, it was always the topic of discussion. It wasn't no positive discussions being had, no growth discussions being had, because none of that was even brought to anybody's attention. So when you don't have that brought up in your family's attention, unless you're born with the silver spoon, when you don't have that silver spoon in your mouth, ladies, gentlemen, the discussions are different. And because of that, the way we are raised is different. So some of us are looking on TV and we want that husband, we want that wife, we want that queen, we want this, we want that, not understanding that it takes work to get that, and it takes work to get there. If you want to be that king you want to be, do the work that it takes. Start operating from a more love place. Some of us, we're too literal with things, and when we become too literal with things, we get too stuck. And I know my last video has been getting some heat about this and that. And I'm going to just say one more thing about it, because why not? I like it. If you feeling some emotions about anything that I said, great. Let's have a discussion. Let's not feel like what I say is right and what you say is wrong. Let's just have a discussion and take right or wrong out of it. You know, let's get our minds thinking. Let's think for ourselves. Some of us, we don't like to think for ourselves. We like to read a book and repeat what we read and think because we repeated it, we know what we're talking about. Anything that I talk about on my channel is stuff that I went through personally and what I've experienced personally. And when I personally experience something and I see the outcome of it, good or bad, I talk about it. And that's all I could do. I can't sit around and teach something that somebody else is teaching or reading, or I don't feel like God called me for that. When I talk here, guys, I don't feel I've done so much work internally that I feel 100% confident with everything that I say. Okay, I know what my problems were, and I've addressed them. Not to say that I'm coming here to you as a perfect saint, because I'm not. And as much as I tried to be perfect and saint, I felt crazy because perfect doesn't exist. Okay? And I realistically like to hang out with my people. You know what I'm saying? And when you so fixed on trying to be that perfect book, you know what I'm saying? Take away from those moments with your family, and they're broken, but that's who they are. Some of us forget that this is who we were raised to be right now. I know we're trying to shift and change and shift and change. There's but so much shift and changing someone could do when their whole life has been full of stress and destruction. You know? So not everybody has that strength to stand up. And that's why I stand up here firmly and proudly, because I know exactly what it feels like to grow up in these broken homes. I know exactly what it feels like to be in the church and praying and praying and praying and praying, and you know, my mental health was never discussed. All I'm saying is, let's have these discussions. Let's not be afraid. Some of us are too afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it, because my life could have went a little bit better had someone just talked about it. But maybe it wasn't meant for me to have it a little better. Maybe it was meant for me to go through that so I could be here, and God could use me the way he wants to use me. And he's not going to use me the way he may use you. Okay? I'm just encouraging you to be the best version of yourself. This is the best version of myself at this given moment, where I go to the gym, where I eat right, where my clients are moving. it feels like, let me tell y'all, I went from a hairstylist, last thing, and then I'm moving on. As a hairstylist, to do people hair, have them get out the chair and feel good, that felt great. But to stand here today and see my clients, my coaching clients, grow in life, like, I'm trying to get the words together, y'all. Y'all know I'm still a female. I'm getting my emotions right, okay? But to see the difference really happening, to see the peace really coming to Paul, lets me know that, God, we on the same page, okay? So my assignment is not the same as your assignment. But whatever your assignment is, go with it and go with it strong, because it may even lead to another assignment. Because at the time, my assignment was to get that wig business going. Didn't even know it, but so glad I did it. Hold on, I'm that trouble. Y'all know I'm outside. I love to be outside. I just feel so good and connected. And, you know, I've learned so much in these past couple of years. Is it years? Yeah, it's been about 1 to 3 years. See, let me not lie. A couple years. Yeah. And these last couple years, focusing and growing and doing the work internally, this is the best I ever felt in my entire life. Things are still not perfect, but I sleep better at night. I used to have these bad habits of like chewing my cheeks. That's when I know I'm stressed too. Like I start chewing my cheeks and my mouth. I just start, grinding my teeth. That was something I picked up from having stress. And when I'm doing that, I know when something is bothering me. And when I'm not doing that, I know, I'll be like, all right, good job, sis, good job, sis. All right, so fam, let's have a little bit more patience with one another. Let's have the discussions that make us a little uncomfortable at first. You'll know you'll be a little uncomfortable because you like a little nervous. You're like, I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be judged. Don't think about being judged by the person you're sharing it with. Because you never know what you can say to a person in that moment that could make a whole lot of difference and positive growth in their life. And it takes a little while to really get to a point where you like, learning how to say things. Because some of us can be a little obnoxious, right? But we'll just say, well, that's how I feel, that's how I feel. We also have to learn how to express it to one another. How to say, hey, I don't like how you're doing that. Or how to say, hey, this made me feel hurt. Hey, this made me feel pain. There's a way to have these discussions and ways to learn how to communicate. Make communication your number one key in all of your relationships. Okay? Even if you're over communicating, make sure you state that. I state that all the time. I know I get on stuff about my friends and my family nerves, but I'm like, hey, I'm an over communicator because I cannot read your mind and I cannot read your emotions. And I know the place that I come from is always a place of love. And before I ever say something, coach someone, I put love first. Okay? God wants us to put love first. Love. Okay? Some of us don't really even know what that means because we haven't even been taught love. So some of us got to learn and really do a class on love. Tony Gaskins does a great class on love. Just self-love. Just love. And when you love yourself a certain type of way, it changes the way you look at other people and talk to other people. And it helps you understand when someone's talking to you a certain type of way, you're like, this doesn't seem like love. You're like, and when you see that they're not operating from love, it helps you have peace in your life. Okay? It helps you have less arguments. It helps you waste less energy on things that's not important. It helps you save your time for things that are more important. It helps you move in such a better, lighter walk. Y'all don't think there's people that's upset with me every day just because I'm walking in and I'm happy? I still show love. As much as I want to sit around like, well, I'm good, so that's a nasty attitude. Okay? So it's not easy. It's not easy. Why? Because we've been so trained to operate like this and operate like that and operate like this and be like this, and we have so many defense mechanisms that we don't even realize when it's time to like check ourselves. Hold on, y'all, truck. My friends, the truck drivers, they're not really my friends. They just like to come in my video. But anyway, Sophia, last thing, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting me. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it because it keeps me coming with the messages. And I know we need someone in our corner. And I told you I'm always here. If you need me, if you want to just shoot me an email because you have a question, maybe you can't afford a session, email me. Maybe we could work something out. You never know. But just know what you plant does grow. All right, so fam, like, comment, subscribe.